if you guys want to have private sessions or bring us in to have a meeting with you guys and maybe go over some stuff that you guys might be struggling, maybe it's offense, defense, whatever, and kind of bring us in to talk to you guys about just our experiences and things that have worked for us in the past, we are willing to do that. We're able to meet with you guys individually, or if you want to meet on the phone, whatever it is you guys want, whatever issue it is, we're willing to meet with you guys and to give you guys that time. So like I said, on the papers last week, a lot of you guys had mentioned practice and how do you run an efficient practice. And so I guess this right here would have been one of my old practices from kind of like last year. So this is the format kind of I would use. Start with stretches, then we kind of go into a lap to kind of you keep them moving the less time that they're kind of climbing around, and then kind of come up getting ready for announcements, stuff like that. But this is kind of like, and I kind of go over this in some in-depth in a minute, but this is just kind of like what I would do, just organizing it. Now in the beginning, I really didn't have it organized. In the beginning when I had practices, kind of would come and say, we'll just see what God wants us to do when we get at the field, and I learned that that's not really the most efficient way kind of to do things. And as I continue to do this, I start to learn that I kind of drop the ball sometimes with practice, because practice is a very important tool when it comes to the game itself. Whatever you allow in practice is what's going to happen at the field. And so me being younger in the beginning, I was really, kind of loose with it a little bit, let kind of kids have fun. I wanted them to have fun, but at the same time, if I let them have fun, let them come late or, kind of goofing around sometimes, I missed out on some opportunities to teach them skills in practice that will affect them in life. So I would open it up a little bit more, but I'm going to kind of move a little bit. So just in the, real quick, I'm sorry. Did you guys see anything missing from this practice sheet? Devotion? Yes. Who said it? Eric. So on there was no time at all for devotion, right? And I purposely kind of left it out, but that's where I was sometimes when I first started coaching. We need to be good at this, we need to be good at that, and I would forget or not make it important, or the headline of practice. And what I started doing is, if I didn't schedule it in, it wasn't going to happen. It'd get pushed back. So that was good that you saw that, Eric. So part of the scheduling is make sure you have that time for devotion, and also have that coach or someone that's going to be responsible for kind of bringing in the word. Now we have the verses each week and stuff like that, but as of right now, you guys are kind of like freelancing as far as like what is it you guys want to share with your kids, and really make that time. The best time that I found that I was able to do was right before something that they really wanted to do, right? So on the schedule, I think after we did kind of team drills and stuff, right before scrimmaging or something like that, or maybe like right in the middle of practice, or maybe when I see them kind of huffing and puffing a little bit, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have their attention because they're going to want water, they're going to want to relax. And then I circle them up, and then I would talk. And that's, if I didn't make that time, a lot of times that didn't happen. These are just some life skills learned just at the football aspect of the game. Just by practicing and playing the game. These are stuff that kids learn. So, I have a lot of people come up to me and say, how are you affecting kids by playing football? You know what I mean? Like, this is, the game itself allows for us to work in all these areas here. And I'm missing probably some out here, but these are just a few of the stuff that we are impacting the kids by just playing the game itself. And if we're doing it right, we're doing the practices right, and we're holding our kids accountable to coming on time, you know what? They learn that discipline, so that way when they got a job now, they know how important it is to kind of come on time. Working with others, being selfless, learning how to finish something that you start. I know for the Saints and for teams that I see that struggle, them same kids that usually always start, it's not always the kids that finish. They kind of dwindle. But what I noticed from the Saints aspect last year, I never seen so many kids continue to come throughout the whole year. So for me, it showed me that either they had a great relationship with their coaches or they were getting more than football. That wasn't their main reason why they were there. It wasn't just to win games. All right, team stretching. I had a video. I'll skip it, but some of us neglect stretching, and it says that 30% less injury involved in stretching. A lot of times when we're starting late, let's skip stretching. I know the kids are young and stuff like that, but if we're not adding it into the schedule, it really does help avoid injury. With stretching, what I'll do is all the videos and stuff that I had for you guys, Chris, we could somehow find a way to put it on the app, right? Kind of the videos and stuff that I have, we'll put it on the app for you guys, and different drills and stuff that I think would work for you guys. Team announcements. So when you guys are coming, you have that time. Make sure you guys are, and you have them huddled up. Make sure you go over upcoming events. Remind players about slips, forms, and do's. This is stuff that we gets lost kind of in the football, but just kind of continue to mention it to them. And then kind of what you're going to be going over at practice, giving them a little intro of the day of what you're going to be doing. And then remind players of their expectations and conduct at practice, what you expect from them. Remind them of what is it that you don't want to put up with or you want to see improvement in. If we're not reiterating that to our players, it's not going to change.
And do that from the beginning with new kids too. I mean, you have a new hot shot quarterback come in, something like that. He's having little attitudes in practice. He's going to have attitudes in big games too. So it's important to take control early on.
Absolutely. That's why I said last week that it was good that even if you got with your captains or maybe your team and talk about disciplines on what is it that they wanted to hold themselves accountable to with you guys, so that would be their discipline. If they missed a practice, what would happen? If your players do not know what the consequence is, they're going to miss a practice because they're not being held accountable or they don't know what the punishment is. So you guys got to really instill that early on to your team, because then that way, then they know what's up. Now it's like, maybe I go to practice because I know I'm not going to start or whatever it is that you guys have. So this is part of the team drills. What I do is if you have a big team, I like to split them up into two groups, because when you have a whole big massive crowd, kids jump around and they get less focused. So I like to split them up into two different drills, and I'll have maybe doing flag grabbing here, while I'm having pass catching over here. I have my quarterback throwing passes to my receivers as we're going over the route tree, and then over here I would have them doing different flag drills and stuff. But also what that does is it lets you empower other coaches to so that way the head coach isn't over everything. Now you got an assistant coach doing this and another coach kind of doing that. And then it allows you to kind of break up the groups, the cliques that you have on your team. You can kind of separate. If you want to do the more competitive kids, you can put them on one, put the younger kids, make sure everybody's getting attention. You want to split them up even amongst the two. Some of the veteran kids with some of the younger kids, you could do that as well. Here we go. So flag grabbing, what I'll do is, like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll make a video, maybe at one of the practices, using one of the teams, the flag grabbing drills that I've done in the past that really work. Flag grabbing is one of the most important things to flag football, right? If you cannot grab a flag, your defense will not be good. I don't care who you have on your team. If you cannot grab a flag, you will not be successful. So you have to spend time doing this in practice. Now, I would always say it's good to change drills up, because kids get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll have different drills and stuff for you guys that will show different, more kind of challenging ways to grab flags and stuff like that. But just kind of going over the basics for some of you coaches, you got to see the flag. You can reach for a lot of kids. They do this, or they do this, reaching for flags. You want to reach with two hands to try to grab the flags. If you can get your body in front to slow down the momentum of the player, that's only going to benefit you and allow one of your teammates to kind of come. I'm not saying tackle him. I'm saying you're going for the flag, but not letting him run directly kind of through you, kind of slow him down. But that takes practice. You guys got to continue to do that over and over again. So I went over the kind of the catching route running and passing that I would have on the other side. Speed and agility. A lot of kids, they usually like doing drills like this, and it kind of benefits them all around on the field. So some of the drills that I like to do on stuff that they see NFL players kind of doing, right? So if it benefits, if it has benefits in flag football, I try to show them drills like that because they want to compete and stuff like that, or they're more likely to want to do that. So like the 3-cone drill is a drill that they do in the NFL Combine. And so this is what I do. I get one of my assistant coaches. We'll have half the team doing, one thing, half the team doing the other thing, and we'll run a drill, we'll time them. So they can see what time they had. They're competing, they're going to be giving you guys probably the best effort they can because they want to improve their time. And if you guys continue to do it, or, if some of the kids want to track, or you want to track their times to kind of look at improvements throughout, you can do that as well. So then what I do after that, I do team, offensive, and defensive kind of thing. So if you have practice once a week, most likely you have to do both of these in one day, where you're going over some offense and you're going over some defense. If you have 2 practices, what I'd like to do in the past was do one day one day the other. If you have 2 separate teams entirely to where you have an offense and a defense, you can split them up and work both in at the same practice. And what this is, just going over plays, trying people out in different positions, you know what I mean? Like, practice, give these kids a chance, because when the games start, there's some kids that are probably not going to be getting a lot of time, but let them have at least minimum time, at least at practice, to kind of have that opportunity where they can kind of show you what they got. And then just kind of, reevaluating plays and players. Okay, so some basic offensive strategies, just real quick. I'm going to go more in depth next training on this anyway. But, all right, so most teams in the league, they play a zone, right? And so you guys have to learn how to attack a zone. And one way that you kind of do is you kind of overload the zone. And by that, it would be more like, say if Abe's over here playing corner, I'm going to send one here to this side of him, and I'm going to send one here. So now Abe has to make a decision to where he's going to stick, right? Now, if the safety gets smart and comes up to try to play him, now I'm going to send someone else at the safety. So now both of them have to make a decision, and one of them are going to be open. So I have one guy coming over here, one guy maybe in this gap, and another guy firing off at the safety. Then whichever one Abe chooses, I'm going to hit that open zone. Another way, just real quick, I'm not going into too much detail, but to get easy throws and open looks, you want to spread out your receivers to utilize the whole field. The field is 35 yards wide, Chris? Right? Yes. Utilize the whole field. When you utilize the whole field, the zone starts to stretch open, right? Because now if the corners are playing inside, you can hit an outside receiver because he's too far to hit him, right? Simple throw. If they're playing outside, now you got seams right up the middle. Quick, easy throws that you're making. If you have everyone kind of crowded or a lot of people in the same zone, it's just gonna cause kind of chaos, you know what I mean, with everyone just kind of being in the way. But if you make it easy for your quarterback and have guys lined up in different sections of the field, then it's easy to manipulate the zones. So there's some other stuff too, is just when you're going over offensive defense, some things that you guys forget, or I know I've forgotten to go over, is, okay, different situations. So if your team has never practiced against man defense and a team plays man defense against you in the game, they're not going to know probably what to do. You know what I mean? So maybe just kind of going over a couple things, okay, what do we do to the quarterback when the quarterback knows what he's going to do when the team plays man. This is what we're going to do, having a plan for it. Ortiz's team plays cover 3, right, for the most part, or last year that's what he's played. If you never played against it, it's different to you, so it's going to be harder to make plays on that because the quarterback's not accustomed to seeing that. The Colts, they like to run sometimes cover 2, right, and so they like to get away the short, and they allow you to try to go deep on them, and sometimes that was last year. You know, if not used to seeing that, or your quarterback's not used to seeing that different looks, then your quarterback is going to struggle. So you guys got to have all this stuff prepared already. Same thing with defensive stuff. If you notice a team's doing something different, you gotta have your team exposed to it. You know, what happens if the quarterback's line up here and they hike the ball to a receiver over here? What does your defense do? Who is this guy still rushing the quarterback? Is this guy going to now rush the quarterback? And is he allowed to run? Can I automatically go in and get him? Like, just different things like that. You guys got to expose yourself to your team. One thing real quick on defense, right? So over the years, I went back and I really wanted to go into statistics, but the website was kind of limited in the way we can kind of do it. Didn't let me go back to past season points and how many teams scored. But over the past, maybe 7 championships, right? The defense that teams have run have been a 4-3. Now, I know that a lot of teams like doing different things, but that basic defense has won a lot of championships. And but also, the big thing to that is also putting pressure on the quarterback. I've never seen a team be good defensively that does not pressure the quarterback. If you allow the quarterback to sit back and just wait till someone gets open, most likely he's going to find someone to get open. If you're worried about the rusher coming in and now that gap being exposed, when the blitzer comes in, now opens up that gap in the middle, you have to tell your middle linebacker and your corner that are covering that gap to kind of know that it's coming, kind of try to shift over a little bit if they're able to. But if you do not blitz the quarterback on 5 is already easy. If you give him 10 seconds to throw the ball, he's going to dissect you. Now, if this guy cannot throw the ball, if he's just that, bad, I guess, not that bad, but if he's really learning the position, and you want him to throw the ball, then that's something, hey, sit back, let him throw it, you get picks all day. But if he's any kind of quarterback, that's going to hurt you. You know what I mean? Blitz the quarterback. You have to pressure the quarterback. If you do not pressure the quarterback, your defense, for the most part, I like to be proven wrong and somebody do it and say, hey, look, buddy, we did it. Great. I've never seen it yet. So, and then also utilizing your blitz. You get 1 blitz every 4 downs to blitz without a count. Now the quarterback has to make a sharp decision on what he needs to do, right? And if the quarterback isn't prepared, if we haven't gone over what to do when we get blitz, then it's probably going to be a good play for you guys. But defensively, know what they do. For the most part, what teams do, they either have a running back, dump it off to the running back. Tell your guys to play up a little bit, know that that's coming. If it's there, go get it. Sometimes they dump it right back to the hiker, right? So have someone playing up, on a hiker. But yeah, so defensively, that's what makes it hard for the quarterback. I seen the scrimmage where the quarterback was given time. He was dissecting the defense. Then I saw them put pressure on him, and I noticed this quarterback struggles throwing on the run. If he's in, he's able to sit here and take his time and throw, he was eating them up. Anytime he had to make a move, left or right, to try to throw the ball, he looked like a different quarterback. But yeah. Yes, someone said something? Oh. No. Scrimmaging. So, scrimmaging is something that the players really look forward to. But in through the scrimmages, you want to go over in-game kind of situations. Go over 4th and long. What do you do when you have to make a play at the end of the game? If you have no deep plays, if we don't have a play that we're going to run on 4th and long, then our quarterback's not going to know what to do. Probably not going to be successful. Go over goal line plays. Where 4 and 5. What 4th and 5 to go. What plays are you guys going to run? If you guys don't have those set plays down pat, or if they're blitzing us, what are we going to do to get more time? Are we going to put a blocker in to block? So just use your scrimmaging as a time to reward the kids, to have fun, but then also use it to really kind of go over some things, and then as you kind of going over things, try it out there, and you can see if it's not working or not. Okay, I missed. So then dismissal. So, and I'll read it to you guys like this. So at the end of practices, it's important to break, right? And for us, I always wanted it to be kind of like a positive thing, right? So at practice sometimes you're always kind of criticizing a little bit, right? Oh, we gotta do this better, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. At the end of practice, I want to point out, you know what? Ant had a great practice today, guys. And I saw Ant working his butt off, you know what I mean? Ant, you are a practice player, you know, of the day, you know, whatever. Just throw some time. You know what? I seen this. And I want to say to the team, like, I seen the effort that you guys are putting out there, the defense or individual players. Just kind of use that as a way to kind of, because then players are more likely, when they're getting that kind of praise, they're more likely to work hard, you know? Like, they see that you guys are appreciating the hard work that they're kind of putting in. And then send them home blessed, you know, end in prayer, you know, and, you know, just send them home, you know, so that way they're feeling good about themselves. So I kind of rushed through it some, and I kind of got some more to say, but I want to kind of be kind of courteous to your time. So what we'll do is, I'll put some drills and stuff on the app so you guys can access it. And what I'll do, I'll try to get out to a practice, film it so you guys can actually see some of the flag grabbing drills live. But prepare your practices, guys. Come prepared with a plan on how you want to do that day. If you come with nothing, the kids are going to know you came with nothing, and they probably, you know, practices might be boring, you know. Or if you're just scrimmaging all day and not really working on specific skills, you know, you're kind of missing out on some of this stuff with some of the, kind of like the younger kids and stuff like that too. They're not really getting a whole bunch out of just scrimmaging, you know. Take that time to work because, like we said, just the game itself, you know, it opens up to, you know, all these life skills that you guys have if you guys can run your game and practices effectively. So what I can also do too is kind of send you guys, if you guys want, kind of like a template open. If you guys want, you can use it to make your practices or whatever. Or if you kind of want us to go to practice or something to just help out or whatever, let us know. We'll feel free to come. But yeah, so I'll leave it there, guys. And like I said, any questions or anything you guys want as far as from us, let us know. Me and Chris will be able to come out and help you guys with whatever it is that you guys see. And then, you know, if I come to you and I say something like, hey, from my experience, you know, I don't know if that's going to work really well. You know, don't think I'm bashing, but I'm coming just with an experience from what I've learned. You know, I want you guys all to be successful in this league. You know, like, I can give you guys all the secrets of anything that I've had from back in the day. There's like one play they said I can't give out. But other than that, I could give you guys anything that you guys want. You know what I mean? To make you guys better. Real quick.